What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. It's a Juventus-less Sunday as they played on Friday. Of course, dropping points again in the Derby della Mole to Torino. But, of course, we have a big showdown with Villarreal in the Champions League this coming Tuesday. But Juventus are going to be without one of their star players. It's going to be a rough ride. Stick with us. We'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today, it's Sunday, February 20th, 2022. And of course, I've got your latest rundown of all things Juventus, all the news that you really care about. And like I said, we're trying to get you in and out of here as quickly as possible. Today, I might actually be able to do that. I know I always say it, and then we end up running over 10, 15 minutes or whatever have you. But today, I'm going to try to get it a quicker video, though I'm killing time right now by doing this. Anyway, before we do that, though, go ahead and smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. As I said, it's a slower news day, but the news stories are, to me, equally important today as any. First off, this is a graphic-less one. This is more just me talking about what's going on in the Serie currently regarding Juventus and then regarding the other teams that play. I think, so today, Atalanta dropped points once again against, Fiorentina, losing 1-0 to them. And here's the thing. I'm not going to tell anybody how to fan, right? That's not who I am. It's not my job. Not my job to tell you how to be a fan. I'm not going to tell you to be excited over over a couple lost points or by quote-unquote gaining a point on Atalanta because Juventus got a draw and they dropped all 3 points. I'm not going to tell you that, but at the same time, I'm going to say I'm not as excited as some of you all are out there. It's a little bit frustrating that Juventus could not have. Only way I look at it is that it's frustrating to me that Juventus could not capitalize against Torino. That was a big moment for them to gain points of what they have. Right now, there's still a game in hand for Atalanta. So in my line of thinking, in my line of believing and feeling, is that right now it's a tie ball game, and Atalanta have the I don't want to say chip shot, but you know what I mean. They have the coin flip. They have the coin flip decider when it comes to this right now in this situation. So Juventus really need to get their bleeping gear and figure out a way to spread this gap a little bit. Yeah, Juventus currently have 47 points. Atalanta have 44, and then Lazio are next with 42 points. But as I said, it's a game in hand, 26 to 25 games. Once Atalanta, if they get another victory there, they are tied with Juventus. And at this point, it feels almost like Juventus, Atalanta, and Lazio are playing. If you all have ever watched South Park, there's an episode of South Park where they're playing in the I know, that's right. It's perfect. This is a very cultured show. Very cultured show talking about, calcio, a beautiful game, the Italian sport, and then here I am, the ugly American on the channel, deciding to go out there and give you some American trash TV references. But, who doesn't love South Park? Anyway, on South Park, there's this one where the kids are playing in a tournament. I think it's like a baseball tournament or whatever have you. None of them want to play. They all want to go home. They're just trying to lose to get out of there. And that's basically what Atalanta, Juventus, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody's really trying to play for anything. Nobody really cares. It's just, you want it, you can have the last spot. It's fine. I don't want the money. I don't want to go to Champions League. It's all yours. Anyway, let's move on from there, but that's where we sit, and that's just something I want to get off my chest and my feeling right now when it came to the results from this weekend. Atalanta, from Juventus, all that. It's frustrating. Juve have got to find a way to get their bleeping gear and capitalize in these moments when the pieces fall for you. Because what I'm tired of is I'm tired of being relieved that some of these pieces are falling because Juventus dropped points again, rather than feeling, a joy. Is it joy? Anyway, let's continue on with the actual real news today. And first off, and I know y'all are going to come in the comments and leave comments. Actually, please do leave comments. It actually does help us, so please do. But anyway, we're going to come in here and we're going to talk about Zaniolo once again. Calciomercato, and this is a name that, okay, if you're new to the channel, I'm an Italian shill. One of the reasons I love Juventus is because I love Italian players, right? This is a fan site. This is not an official news site. So I'm going to go by a fan. And that's also important to remember, that I'm a fan, and that my way of thinking changes, right? So with the next story we're going to talk about after this, remember that. But at the same time, Calciomercato is reporting that at the moment there is still no agreement between Roma and Zaniolo. There is a growing feeling that Juventus will soon open talks with Roma. The player remains a priority of Cherubini. Also, that preface was for the next story, not for this one. But anyway, on this story, basically just saying that Juventus, it's more, I don't want to say it's more and more likely, but Zaniolo is starting to become one of those stories that's becoming it could fall apart. It could be nothing, here in a month or so, right? But at the same time, this is one that's getting some footing there. It's getting repeated and it's getting repeated often. And that's how I know that Juventus become serious about players. That's why a lot of the time, whenever a story doesn't become, repetitive, there's so many of these names that I'm not able to pronounce and you all crush me for on a daily basis. And I love it. But at the same time that I'm like, I'm not even going to take the time to learn their name, even if it's a bigger name from in another big league, just because I'm not going to be saying it every day, right? Once it starts repeating itself, like I remember when Tchouaméni did it, and Tchouaméni repeated itself, and it wasn't that Juventus didn't want him, it's that, other people came in, and more than likely, Juventus wasn't going to be able to pay up the amount. They got Zakaria, and I'm in love with the kid. Anyway, as it stands right now, Zaniolo is actually becoming a real option again. It looks like there's something real there. We'll have to see if Roma and Zaniolo come down to an agreement. If he does want to stay at Roma, if that does happen, fine. We've talked about the injury issue, right? I'm not talking about the injury issue today because I've repeated it over and over and over again. He is obviously somewhat injury prone, and we're starting to see injury prone issues. With overall and how that, obviously Juventus has dealt with this for long enough. We're not starting to see. We've seen it for a long time. So I understand any trepidation when it comes to adding this player because of that. That's fine. You're in your rights. I like him. I think he's another. I think like if you have him and he stays and he can retain some sense of healthiness, you having Vlahovic and then having him in the midfield alongside Locatelli, alongside Zakaria. He is a brick bleep house as well, like I view Vlahovic, and like I view Matthias de Ligt in the defense. I think you're looking pretty strong there when you have those players. I understand though, it's you're not doing any good for us on the bench or in J Medical, so I understand any trepidation, but it seems more and more that Juventus, Paratici won them. Now it looks like you're saying that Cherubini wants him as well. Hey, if that's the toy that they want and they're able to get this deal done and make it maybe somewhat affordable, you know what I mean? We know that this group can get it affordable, right? We know that they're very smart. Arriva Bene, like I give him all the credit. He has impressed me this way and this way to Sunday or whatever the term is, you know what I mean? So I'm very excited about that. So we'll see what happens. Of course, feel free to let me know your thoughts about Zaniolo and why you don't like the injury issue, but I completely understand. But at the same time, it would still excite me. We'll say that. All right. Now, the story that I prefaced all of that with, and the next one story, is Paulo Dybala. Of course, here we go talking about it. Juventus basically just reported saying that Paulo Dybala and Daniele Rugani will be out for about 10 days. Lovely. I think, first off, I just want to say this. It's frustrating. Obviously, we're all frustrated in the swings that I'm having with Dybala. That's what I was prefacing about my fandom and about me being a fan and I'm not just a hot take artist who just, I'm far from a hot take artist. But at the same time, some of my points, they can go, back and forth a little bit because Dybala has the skill and the ability and the pure talent that I don't see a lot on the rest of this team, especially this team, let alone just, the internationally, the full landscape. But at the same time, at what cost? Because, this is fine. It's fine if you're playing games. It's fine if you're, if you're getting goals against Salernitana or whoever have you, teams like that. That's fine. But we need you to show up in these big games. And from what and I could be eating crow later. Maybe he has some other kind of issue came up that's not related to the injuries he's sustained. The injuries that he has sustained, that frustrates me. Obviously, we're coming back from that's difficult. But my guy, I think I want to give credit. I believe it was Mohamed Shalale, and I apologize, my guy, if I said your name wrong. Want to give him credit. He tweeted out something today to the effect of, and he may have tweeted from somebody else reporting it, but he was the one that I saw tweeting it out, basically reporting Paulo Dybala's injury factor and all the games that he's missed since 2016, 2017. So ones that stuck out to me is that in the Champions League, he's missed a ton. I believe he missed at least a leg against Ajax. Ajax. Anyway, again, pronunciation is not my forte. Anyway, Missed at least a leg there. I know I think he missed the Porto one for sure. And of course, he also missed, what's the one that I'm forgetting about? What's the one I'm forgetting? I don't care. I don't care. Anyway, he's missed the important Champions League ones that Juventus have got knocked out with, basically, is what I'm saying. And that's the frustrating part. And that very well could be another repeat issue. And here we could go against, Villarreal on Tuesday and see if this repeats itself. If he misses both of those legs, I'm going to be very frustrated with that situation, with Dybala especially coming in and wanting, a high salary, wanting all these things, wanting to get his agent paid. We'll see. We'll see if he backs off of that. But wanting to get all these financial commitments from Juventus, but we can't get a commitment they can play. And right now, what I've heard is it seems we're more likely that it's like just a knock for Dybala. And that's why I get frustrated, because if it's just a knock, my God, this is a game that you're needed. Get out there and play. I understand you got to think about it financially, you got to think about whatever, but these are the moments. These are the moments when you need to get out there. And, I not to go to Michael Jordan, obviously these are freak athletes that are, Dybala's not the Jordan of his game, but the guys who play through injury, the guy who plays through when I say injury, not a serious injury, but a little bit of a knock or something like that. There's guys who go out there and play that for their team. And it gets me a little bit frustrated the more and more Paulo Dybala sits out matches. And then it's still wanting to get that kind of money. I don't know. That's my personal feeling. Let me know your thoughts on it. Obviously, Dybala Rugani is an issue as well, because it's going to be unfortunate to miss Rugani for an extended period of time, because he's been, regardless of what I think of him, and I said before, I never want to see him out there on the pitch, but especially when you're having to move Alexandro there in the center back role, it's frustrating not to have Dybala Rugani, because he has been serviceable. It's the most I can ask of him is that he's serviceable, and he has been just that for Max Allegri since he has returned to Juventus. The same with De Sciglio as well. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this. Of course, you can go in and talk about, and I know a lot of you, Haneen, shout out, Haneen, you definitely want to talk about how that affects his continuing process to try to renew his deal with Juventus, and any factors that may go along with. It's frustrating. I completely understand you all being frustrated. I don't know how that makes me feel about should this be over? Should we move on? One, financially, just contract-wise, financially, it makes no sense. You're going to lose out too much by not renewing him. But where do you go from here? And anybody that says in the comments, renew him and sell, that ain't happening, so don't do that to me. Anyway, guys, that'll do it for today. That's the news. Those are the topics I wanted to talk about. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Always appreciate hearing from you guys. Also, please, if you could, hit a like on the video. I know the topics may not be everybody's cup of tea, but hitting the like button really helps our channel and our community grow. I know there's a lot of you that are like me that join the channel for community Juventus, because maybe you live in areas where there aren't a lot of Juventus fans or Serie A fans, period. And it's really cool to be able to do that. So we want to grow and add more and more fans and more people in our community as well. Also hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. Did I say subscribe? Of course, subscribe. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Forza Juve. Forza Bianconeri. Somebody, just somebody play a game. Just somebody.